steps from the Capitol in Cheyenne with reporters in your hometown. These are the top stories from the Cowboy State Daily News Center.
It's time to take a look at what's happening around Wyoming for Thursday, December 4th. I'm Mac Watson. More than 2 weeks after a 10-month-old boy was reported missing, authorities have issued a felony arrest warrant for his mother, who's accused of taking the baby. Cowboy State Daily's Jen Coker reports that the father is offering a reward for any tips that could lead to getting his son returned home safely.
A felony warrant has been issued from Madeline Daly for custody interference because she has absconded with the couple's son, and she was last seen in the Worland area on November 16th. On Wednesday, the father of the child announced he was putting up a $10,000 reward for any information leading to his safe return.
Daly's gray 2017 Dodge Ram pickup was last seen in the Worland area in the Bighorn Basin in north central Wyoming, with her last known address at an RV park in Ten Sleep. Construction of a $60 million state-of-the-art rare earth processing and separation demonstration plant is complete in Upton, Wyoming. Cowboy State Daily's Kate Meadows reports that the plant is expected to be a redefining moment in America's efforts to break China's rare earth stranglehold.
RER is keeping China from having a monopoly on this technology. Their proprietary and patented technology will keep production of the elements that it mines within the U.S. And it also intends to process and separate the elements more efficiently and in a more environmentally friendly way. Construction of the plant is completed, but the plant will not be fully operational until early 2026.
Processing and separating the rare earths, which will come from neighboring Crook County as part of the Bear Lodge Critical Rare Earth Mining Project, will be a game changer for Wyoming and the domestic supply chain as a whole. A Worland man who riddled his own dog with bullets was sentenced Wednesday to 3 years supervised probation and fined $1,000. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that Donald Dudley Wright says he's had death threats over the incident.
He was facing years in prison potentially. And so he was like, I just can't believe how severely my life is derailed over these incidents. I still have a right to put down my own dog. He was trying to put down this dog that was eating medication and reportedly killing chickens, and it just went haywire in the dark. You know, the dog got free, and then he couldn't finish the job, and then the neighbor women ran off with it before he could finish the job. And the prosecutor countered saying it's not that you were trying to put down your own dog. It's the jury found the way you did it to be cruel in nature, feloniously cruel.
Wright told the court that in hindsight, he wished he'd handled his frustration with the dog differently. Rock Springs residents turned out Tuesday to support promised changes to a controversial plan to manage 3.6 million acres of southwest Wyoming. Cowboy State Daily's Tracy Sullivan reports the plan is being amended to comply with Trump's order to peel away roadblocks to U.S. energy development.
People right now are optimistic that that's going to be amended in a way that will give them more of what they want under the current administration, because Trump had signed an executive order that basically told the BLM, you need to amend this in order to focus on domestic energy development. And that was been their order now from the Trump administration, which is what brought this whole idea of amending this resource management plan to the forefront. And so they're optimistic as far as knowing that there's at least going to be some changes that are going to benefit Sweetwater County.
The original 2024 plan drew intense backlash across Wyoming, where residents, lawmakers, and industry groups argued the new land designations, trail buffers, and use restrictions went far beyond what was discussed during the years of public meetings. I'll be back with more news from Cowboy State Daily right after this. Winter is here. Wind chills below zero, ice and snow. Oh, and the drifts. Oh, you know what it's like. But guess what? Cowboy State Daily has you covered with the most accurate and reliable forecast with meteorologist Don Day. So you know what to expect. You know the saying, if you don't like the weather in Wyoming, just wait 5 minutes. It will change. But you don't have to keep checking the skies or an app on your phone to see if it's going to rain or snow. So make sure you're getting your forecast from Cowboy State Daily's Don Day. Every day.
Have you met your health insurance deductible for the year? Give yourself the gift of peace of mind by getting your health screenings in before 2025 comes to a close. You have a choice for your imaging, and with efficient pre-authorization assistance, extended MRI hours, convenient scheduling, and patient-focused care, Casper Medical Imaging and outpatient radiology is the clear choice. Schedule your X-ray, CT, MRI, ultrasound, DEXA, or mammogram today at CasperMedicalImaging.net.
Cowboy State Daily News continues now. Wyoming wildlife officials and others feared a Utah-based company's plan to build a 900-megawatt power project at Seminole Reservoir could ruin the state's most prized bighorn sheep herd and a blue ribbon trout fishery. Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines reports that county commissioners are weighing both sides of this issue.
People are concerned that this proposed power project could disrupt, the sheep's crucial winter range, and people are concerned that could disrupt the aquatic habitat and the water temperatures, which in turn could affect the fishery. Seminole is known for walleye fishing as well as trout. So I talked to county commissioners in both Carbon and Natrona counties, and they are concerned because they're saying, okay, well, we're being told this power plant would generate a lot of economic benefit for us, but at what cost? Because our counties benefit hugely economically from recreation, hunting, fishing, wildlife watching.
In a letter sent to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission in April, Game and Fish Deputy Director of External Affairs, Doug Brimmeyer, stated that the project's estimated 5-year construction time would affect an entire generation of wildlife. An aviation consultant whose child custody battle raged for years in Wyoming's court system sued Jackson Hole's News and Guide newspaper on Tuesday for $25 million. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that David Lawrence McCartney is claiming that the newspaper falsely labeled him a child abuser, despite court documents saying otherwise.
According to the complaint, the Guide just put it out there as an objective assertion that McCartney was an abuser. And the complaint also says that the outlet then, a week later did this update, couching that in an attribution, saying the man's son said he was an abuser, but that the man denied it. And so the complaint calls this an inadequate update and is now demanding millions of dollars over the assertion that McCartney was an abuser.
McCartney filed his $25 million federal defamation lawsuit Tuesday in the U.S. District Court for Wyoming. The newspaper, if they think McCartney didn't apply the law correctly, can file a motion to dismiss the case. To access sections of Wyoming public land surrounded by private property, some hunters are charting helicopter pilots to fly them in, upsetting adjacent ranchers. Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines reports that some ranchers don't like it, but hunters say it isn't right for landowners to treat landlocked public parcels as extensions of their property.
And then I talked to Fonzie Haskell, he's a member of the Wyoming Game and Fish Commission and an outfitter. He's from Northeast Wyoming. He says, yes, we see that occasionally. We do see private parties flying in. It's legal. It might cause a little bit of friction between those guys and the professional outfitters, but it doesn't seem to be a huge deal at this point.
Landlocked public lands often contain extensive road systems used by ranchers, oil and gas workers, and occasionally hunters. The Tour de Wyoming has announced its route for July 2026 when 250 cyclists will cover 400 miles through the Bighorn Basin with a brief visit to Montana. Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi reports that this will be the 27th year for what's regarded as one of the best bike tours in the United States.
It's one of the best fully supported bike tours in the nation because there are only 250 people selected to participate every year, but their luggage gets carried from stop to stop along the route. They have a caterer that makes all of their meals. Sometimes they even have fancy coffee and a masseur that goes along with them. And of course, there's a bike repair station so that if anything goes wrong, it can be tended to. And they choose a different spot in Wyoming to go to every year. They haven't been to Northwest Wyoming for a while, so they've chosen a route that covers a lot of small communities in the Bighorn Basin, the kind of places they prefer to go.
The 2026 tour starts on July 12th. Cyclists will follow a 56-mile loop from Powell past Cowley, Lovell, and Byron before heading back to Powell for the night. And then it's on to Cody, Red Lodge, and finally Yellowstone's East Entrance and back. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting that daily newsletter button at cowboystatedaily.com. And you can watch this newscast every day by clicking subscribe on our YouTube channel or listen to us on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening. I'm Mac Watson for Cowboy State Daily.